Welcome to my channel. I go by Don Gravely and I'm a musician, artist, songwriter, whatever you really want to call it. I've been working on this for like 6 to 7 months now, and for the most part I've just been uploading to Spotify and Instagram, but I actually decided that I'm going to start making some YouTube videos just for anyone who actually enjoys my music from Spotify and they want to know more about me, so they can always come on here and have a look. So I think that would be a good idea. And for this first video, I'm actually going to copy Randolph. I'm going to do a song in 60 minutes. So basically it's going to involve me hearing the beat for the first time, to writing it and mastering it, recording the vocals, everything in between, basically making it ready for me to submit it to Spotify. And if I actually like the song, I will post it, and for anyone else that enjoys it, they can always come and have a look. It's going to be released the day after this video. This video will probably be dropped on Thursday, and everything else after that will be posted on Wednesday, and all the songs will be dropping every Friday as always as well. So yeah, let's just get into the video. Alright, so I'm back, and as you can see I've got the stopwatch right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and start it. As you can see I've got an hour, and I've got the beat ready over here. So I found it like a month ago and I've only listened to it for like 10 seconds, so it's gonna be pretty fresh. Just a little simple beat. Yeah. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. It's got that catchy flute melody in there, so I hope that's gonna be pretty cool. And yeah, let's just get started. Alright, so it's time for a bit of commentary. I just don't want to make this shit like 10 hours long, so instead of making you guys watch me write this, I will give you guys some tips on writing, especially for the novices. Basically, the first thing that I would say would be learn the basics. So like stay on beat, count bars, how many bars you want in a verse, stuff like that. And then just write, just keep writing, keep it simple, and eventually you get bored of just making it so simple all the time, and you would just want to make it more complex. And as you keep going, the more complex you get, the metaphors, the similes, the flows, to everything. And you just don't want to throw yourself in the deep end. You want to start slow, just like with anything, and then just keep working hard until you get comfortable. One tip that I don't really hear people say that much is, especially at the start, make sure that all your bars have the same amount of syllables. So just count how many syllables you have in each line and just try and match them. So obviously once you get more advanced, you don't really have to do it. Sometimes it works if you don't do it, but like I said, as someone that's starting out, it's good to keep things simple, and that's just the best way to do it. And that's the best way to actually make a good song without really thinking too much about how you structure your verses. So I hope this helps. Alright, so I've actually finished the hook now. I think this will be cool. So I'm just gonna give you guys a little quick preview of what I've came up with. So basically the concept of the song is that it's just gonna be a fun little track to get hyped to, hopefully. No, I'm not looking for any special message here, just for fun. So alright. Yeah, stay at my radius. I ain't gonna stop till I'm filling out stadiums. Look both ways before you cross me. I'm going too fast, I'm a real big danger. Finna make you in danger. Stay at my radius. Look both ways for you. Yeah. And then the verse will start coming in, and yeah, that will be it for the hook. So yeah, I'm just gonna get onto the verse now. I'm planning to write like 2 verses, do like 10 bars each, and let me just have a quick look at the time. We've got 10 minutes, so that actually took pretty long, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna get down to writing now. Alright, so we are back with the commentary again, and I'm just gonna try and give you guys like one more tip for this segment at least, and that would be for wordplay and just making clever references and stuff, because that's what really enhances the experience for a listener. If you're able to just make someone laugh or just feel good because they caught onto a reference, that's really valuable, and that could really turn just an average listener into an actual fan. But obviously, how would you do that, you know, especially if you don't really watch like cartoons or just shows in general, you don't really know that much about sports. These are like the main things that people make references to. So what I would say is just think outside of the box, like straight up, like literally make it so that if you wasn't writing it, you wouldn't even get it. Like there's times where I would write a bar and I would come back to it like in a month's time, and I would just be like, what the fuck did I mean? And it would take me like a few minutes to actually know what I'm on about. So obviously if I wrote it and I still don't really know what I meant, then for an average listener, they'll very rarely catch it. But if they do, they'll really appreciate it, compared to if you made another Scottie Pippen reference, or if you said that you're as hard as nails or something. Like just look at MF Doom, how he never refers to himself as I. He always talks about himself in third person, and that just makes his songs more like a story rather than just a song where he brags all the time. The little things like that just make a big difference. So I hope this tip is valuable to you guys. Alright, so I've actually finished the first verse now. I don't think it's too bad. I've got some similes in there and like metaphors and stuff, so it's not too simple. But obviously I can only do so much in an hour. And I've already started kind of my rhyme scheme that I want to use for the second verse. I usually want to switch up my flows and rhyme schemes quite a lot in the songs. So it was a no-brainer for me to switch it up for the second verse. So for the second verse, my plan is to play around with that go-getter sound. When you play it, it's like... If you know me, then you already know I'm a real go-getter. Like that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna keep this short because this is actually getting pretty long, and so I'm just gonna give you guys one last tip, and that is that if you don't read the dictionary like Eminem or whatever, and you don't just know every single word in the English language, and you're looking for rhymes and you can't think of a rhyme to a word, just go on Google or whatever and type in rhymezone.com. Basically all you got to do is type in the word that you need, and it's going to come up with a bunch of rhymes for that word. There's even a setting for some advanced ones where there's like 2 different words that make up the rhyme and shit like that. And yeah, this isn't just for the beginners. Like I use this shit still, so it's just helpful for anyone if you're trying to think of new words to rhyme and that. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna get into the recording now. Alright, so I think I finished. I'm quite happy with this. I haven't really counted the amount of bars there are, but the way I'm doing it, it sounds right. So normally I would have checked, but it's not that deep. Alright, so I already have Ableton up here, and what I'm using for the mixing is a template made by Kenny Beats. I highly recommend his Twitch, and just you can even find his videos on YouTube, and all you gotta do really is just tweak a few things, but other than that, you basically got a really good base for your mixing. You know, everything's solid, and there's a few things that I added. For example, just a normal EQ, because the EQ he used doesn't tweak everything that I want, so I'm just gonna add that. So the only 2 major things that I really changed were adding this extra compressor on top, stereo compressor, and another saturator on top. So there you go. I'm aware that a lot of people don't have these plugins. You know, most of them are waves, but there's a few FabFilter ones. But there's so many different alternatives, and you can easily get them for free anyway if you're smart enough, but that you didn't get that from me. Yeah, so what I do, I'm just gonna go ahead and slap the beat onto the track. That's all I need to do here. Usually they are pretty loud, so you might want to turn them down by like 6. Alright, so you get your mic, bring it a bit closer, and get ready to spit. I didn't realize that OBS wouldn't record the sounds from Ableton, so I'm gonna have to just cut out all the parts where I'm actually recording it and playing it. There you go, and as you can see, that's all I needed to do. There you go. I'm actually gonna get rid of this. Alright, so when you got a piece of audio like this, all you gotta do is first of all click warp, just so you don't get any clips or anything like that, and then just copy it, go down twice, paste it, and then delete that, and then you got it here. Something to keep in mind for when you're recording and you're punching in a lot, the best way to make it sound natural, even though all the vocals are from different takes, just leave the breath in from the last take. So basically, instead of me deleting this whole thing, I'll keep the breath in, and that'll just make it more natural, in my experience anyway. Alright, so I'm actually happy with the way the hook sounds right now, so if you just want to play it. Stay at my radius, I ain't gonna stop till I'm filling out stadiums. Look both ways before you cross me, I'm going too fast, I'm a real big... Alright, so I'm happy with it. So now it's just time to do the verse, so I'm just gonna press the button. Finna tell you what I think, I don't fraud and slip, then I see how you react. Wait. Finna tell you what I think, I done Freudian slip. Then I see how you react, I like accordingly. Oh, you haters kiss my ass, I guess that's how I am. Now you already know I like to keep it tongue in cheek. If you ever fuck with me, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Gonna hook you to the face, just forget the same S's, I don't... Alright, I like this part. Just gonna cut this out though. Alright. Unwarp that shit. Alright, so just punch in. If you ever fuck with me, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Gonna hook you to the face, just forget about saying S's. I don't care about your day, I'm not really that interested. I don't care about the interest, I don't care about the rest of it. Yeah, this rapping shit really be that simple. Don't it's really finna hard, but it's really just an act. Watch him step into the cage like CM Punk. Yeah, Alright, it's not my day right now. I'm messing up quite a lot. Yeah, they're gonna wash away like ink, no one cares about you like Bink, Alright, it's actually sounding pretty good right now, not gonna lie. There you go. Unwarp that bitch. There you go. Alright, so now I finished the first verse. I can just slap the hook on the end of that. Boom. Alright, done. Second verse. And we're done. Now we just gotta put the last hook on at the end. There you go. Make sure it sounds right. Alright, so let me just quickly check the time. 20 minutes. So I actually have some time to do the ad-libs now as well, which is what I usually do. Alright, so for the ad-libs, it's basically the same thing, but I just go to the very start of the track. It's a good method of quality control because as you're doing the ad-libs, you can see if any of your vocals are like done wrong or whatever. So it's actually pretty good as well for that. Alright, so there you go. It's done. All ready to go. As always, unwarp. Slide it all the way down to the ad-libs. There you go. So pretty much the whole thing is done now. Now we just got to mix it. So the first thing I do when I mix with this template is, first of all, I go on Pro Q. I swap the 0 latency to natural phase just because that makes it higher quality. It leaves a bit of a delay on. That's why you want to record with zero latency and then swap it to natural phase after. Then you want to activate this plugin. I don't really know what it does exactly. Like, it's a mixture of compressors and delays and tiny bits of reverb, but it just makes it sound slightly better. It's like a cheat code. Like, it just makes everything better no matter what. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna work on these ad-libs in a minute. The second thing I do is I actually EQ the thing properly. So what you want to do is press this button right here, choose one of these points and up the EQ a little bit, and then play your vocal and just scan through and basically just shuffle around until you hear like very uncomfortable sounds. Once you hear that, just turn it down a bit. That's all you gotta do. And then and in terms of mixing, that's pretty much it. Like, that's all you really need. All you want to do now is kind of just level the vocals, make sure they sound right with the beat, and then put some reverbs on and delays and all that type of shit. So I'm kind of liking the way this sounds right now. I'm just gonna turn the vocals a little bit. I usually turn them down all the way to like 7 or 8, it just depends. Then obviously I'm gonna get down to ad-libs. What I usually do is I cut the space in between each ad-lib just to get rid of all the background noise. So it takes a while, especially if you have like 2 or 3 layers of ad-libs, but it's worth it in the end. You don't really have to do it if you have a really good mic. The better the mic, the more sloppy you can get with it. Like, you don't have to do it all the way, or you can leave out some spaces if you really need to. Alright, done. As you can see, we have 10 minutes left as well, so we are seriously running out of time. Alright, so now we finished the mixing part. What I usually do now is I export the shit. Just gonna call it video. I remember at the very start I used to master and mix my stuff in the same session, but first of all, it takes less power for your computer to do it separately, and you just have more control, you know. So now here we have my mastering chain. Basically like 4 or 5 plugins. Is simple EQ, take out the low and highs, and a simple stacked compressor, and an exciter. It's basically like a saturator, I guess. So all we got to do now is slap the file we just exported in here. So basically the main parts are these two, the 2 maximizers. Usually I just turn it down a little bit. Then what I have as default is basically about balancing everything, because the louder you make the whole thing, the less hard the actual drums will hit. And I actually value the bass a lot, and I probably value it way more than the actual loudness of the track. So I'd rather turn it down a little bit and keep the drums as hard as possible. Then I turn the compression up a bit. It depends on the song. I can turn down the exciter if I want to. It just for tweaking. You can do whatever you want with it. So we have 2 minutes and basically the song is done. So this is basically the end result, and it's actually pretty good, you know. I'm actually quite happy with this. I'm actually quite happy to post this on my Spotify, so I think I actually will after a bit of tweaking as well, obviously. So here's the time. I managed to actually do it with like a minute left, so there you go. I can actually stop the thing. So yeah, all you got to do now is literally just export it again, and this time this will be the full track. So there you go. And it's ready. So this will be it for today's video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it was my first time trying to record anything like this, so I hope you enjoy it in the end. Obviously, I'm gonna get better as I keep going. Like I said, this video will drop on Thursday, but every other video will be out on Wednesday. Songs will be out every Friday as well. This one will be out tomorrow. After the recording, I'm going to tweak it, add a few more ad-libs, retake a few lines, and make it as good as it can get. And then at the end, I'm going to play the final version for you guys. And obviously, I'll send out a link to my Spotify, my Instagram, my Twitter. If you enjoyed this and you believe in the vision, just check it out and give it a like or follow or whatever you want. So yeah, that'll be it for today, and peace.